Good morning, students. Welcome to our next video. So, in this video, we are going to see the basics of the silicon control rectifier and all the important terms related to SCR. Okay. So, let's start with the introduction. So, four-layered semiconductor device of alternating P and N material is used here. Means there is a four layer of semiconductor device which are used in the manner of P and N type of material. The word thyristor is coined from thyratron and transistor. Okay, so the first four letter is thyratron, thyratron and transistor. Okay, then we have in this we have two states, that is on state or it will be off state. So we will be saying, we are in the previous video also we have seen what is SCR. Okay, now in this video also we will look the some in brief how the SCR is work. Trade name of thyristors. Okay, four-layered three-terminal device, and it has the highest power handling capability. Okay, it has the highest power handling, means it can handle power up to a high rating. Then the rating goes up from 1200 volts to 1500 amperes. Okay, then the switching frequency can be up to 1 kilohertz to 20 kilohertz. Okay, so it is a very high frequency. Four states in this, there are four states in the SCR. We have seen in the previous video that there are actually four states: reverse blocking mode, reverse conduction mode. Okay, in reverse blocking mode, the blocking of the reverse current will be not happen. Okay, means it will block the reverse flow of the current. Reverse conduction mode means in the reverse conduction mode the current will be flown in the reverse manner. In forward blocking mode means it will allow the current to flow in the forward direction, and it will not allow the current to flow in the forward direction. And forward conduction mode means it will allow the current to flow in the forward direction, means it will conduct in the forward direction. Then we have this symbol. In the previous video also we have seen symbol and its construction. Okay, so there are three terminals as shown from the figure: A, K and G. Okay, alternately N type and P type materials. Okay, so we can see NPN or PNP, these two types of thyristors. Okay, then you can see from this diagram that there are three terminals: A for anode, K for cathode, and G for the gate terminal, or you can say it as a control terminal. And in the means this is the basic structure. Here you can see anode, gate and cathode. These three terminals are common, but you can see here there are four layers of semiconductor: P layer, N layer, P layer and N layer. Means P and PN layers are there. Then you can see there are three junctions. Means with the PN here we get a J1 junction. With NP we get a J2 junction, and with J3 we get a means P and last 3 PN we get a J3 junction. Okay, so we have seen this its structure, means we have seen its structure and working also in depth in the previous video. If you have any doubt you can watch the previous video. Okay, so this is the detailed structure of the PNPN and NPNPN. Okay, so these are the this shaded area is called as the contact. Means from here only you can get the contact. Okay, so it can be of aluminum or copper. Then we have this cathode terminal and gate terminal. Okay, so this is the thyristor structure. Okay, so gate terminal, cathode terminal and anode terminal. Here you can see this is the micrometer, means this is the size of this particular region. N plus region has a 10 micrometer size. Similarly, uh, this N plus two N plus regions are there whose length is 10 micrometer. Then you can see three junctions as discussed: J1, J2 and J3. Okay, so these are the three junctions. Then three important thyristor specifications are: forward breakover voltage. Means what is forward breakover voltage? Means this is the voltage at which the SCR enters the forward conduction region. Means at this voltage only the diode or the SCR enter into the forward conduction mode. It is denoted by VBR. Okay, VBR bracket F for forward conduction mode. Then there are two important terminologies. First one is holding current. So what is holding current? It is denoted by this symbol IH. So what is holding current? Holding current, this is the value of anode current. Okay, this is the value of anode current below which the SCR switches from forward conduction region to forward blocking mode. If the value of the current is below IH, means holding current, then the SCR will be in forward blocking mode, means it will not allow any current to flow in the forward direction. Okay, so this is the holding current. Then if the current is exceeding this IH, okay, then the SCR automatically converts its mode into forward conduction mode. Okay, conduction mode. If it is below IH, then it is in forward blocking mode, and if it is above IH, then it is in forward conduction mode. Okay. So gate, and then next is gate trigger current, IGT, means through the gate terminal of the SCR, you can control the working of the SCR, means you can turn off the SCR or turn off the SCR. So this is the value of gate current necessary to switch the SCR from forward blocking mode to forward conduction region under specified condition. Okay, under some specific condition only, if you are giving some gate current, okay, means you are going to give, if you want to turn on the SCR, then you have to give the gate current, gate current, so that it will comes in the forward conduction mode, not in the blocking mode. If it is below IH, then it is in forward blocking mode. But to bring the current from above IH to above IH, then gate trigger signal should be provided under some specific conditions. Okay, so these are the points. Now let's see some characteristics of thyristors. When an anode is positive, let's suppose when an anode is positive, okay, so VAK is the voltage across anode and cathode. Anode and cathode. With respect to cathode, with no voltage applied at gate, means if there is no gate voltage applied, then junction J1 and J3 are forward bias. Means J1 and J3 are, let's suppose I'm giving a voltage source. Suppose there is a one voltage source, then across anode and cathode. Okay, so due to the, when the higher potential of the battery is connected to the, means positive of the battery is connected to the P and negative of the battery is connected to the N, means they are in forward conduction mode, but the J2 will be in reverse bias, so it will not conduct, until the gate trigger is given. Okay, while the J2 is in reverse bias. As J2 is reverse bias, no conduction takes place, because for conduction of the SCR, all the three junctions will be wide, should be equal. Now, if VAK is increased beyond the breakdown voltage, means if to conduct the SCR, I will increase the voltage across VAK. Okay, beyond VBO, means VBO means this is the voltage at which the thyristor breaks down, means it will stop working. But if you want to means operate the SCR, you should increase the voltage across the voltage across the thyristor. An avalanche breakdown of J2 takes place and thyristor starts conducting. Means if you are giving a voltage greater than anode to cathode, means voltage across the anode cathode is increased beyond the VBO. VBO is breakdown voltage. Then due to avalanche, means that junction will break and the current and hole combination will occur, and due to that the the working of the SCR starts. Means it will comes in the forward conduction mode. If the positive potential VG is applied at the gate terminal, let's suppose VG is positive voltage is given to the gate with respect to cathode. Okay, with respect to cathode, the breakdown of the junction J2 occurs at lower voltage of AK. Means what I am doing, I am giving the voltage across a gate terminal. So due to that gate terminal, if the voltage across gate is greater than the voltage across VAK, so due to the VG voltage, the breakdown of the J2, means the reverse biased junction occurs at very lower voltage. Okay, so that's why gate terminal is important. By selecting an appropriate value of VG, the thyristor can be switched into on state suddenly. Okay, then we have characteristics curve thyristor. Okay, so in the previous video also we have seen that this is the VBO, means this is the breakdown voltage. If we increase the voltage beyond VBO, then the junction J2, okay, which is in always which is already in the reverse bias, so that junction will break down. That breakdown is called avalanche breakdown. So that due to that breakdown, the thyristor or the SCR will conduct. Okay, so this is the breakdown voltage. Okay, so this is the gate triggering forward voltage, and this is the forward voltage means conducting. When the SCR is conducting in the forward, then this is how actually the graph is shown, and this is the reverse leakage current and reverse breakdown. Similarly, in the forward direction there is a forward breakdown. Similarly, in the reverse direction also there will be a breakdown. If we increase the voltage beyond the means the reverse voltage beyond a certain value VBO, then VRBO, then the thyristor will not conduct. Okay, then we have an ideal switch. An ideal switch behaves like a diode. Okay, so for means if we consider a switch, then it will act like a diode, means it has a three states, whether it will forward block the voltage, forward conduct the voltage, and reverse blocking, means it will allow the current to flow through it, it will block the current to flow through it, it will block the current in the reverse direction. Okay, so gate signal switches on the thyristor. For turning on the thyristor, we have to give the gate signal. Why gate signal? Because it turns on the uh, SCR at very low voltage. Okay, so I hope you understand this video. Okay, if you have any kind of doubt, you can contact me. So thank you for watching.